glad to start again with just my children and my wife. I thank my lucky stars to be living here today, 'cause the flag still stands for freedom and they can't take that away. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today, 'cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA.
Ladies and gentlemen, the reason I started with that short part of a beautiful song is to remind everyone of the big picture, not the little stuff. Remember that the media is constantly trying to pit us against each other so that we fight each other and ignore the big picture, what we're losing. Through voter suppression, what the Democrats basically hope to do is to destroy American borders, make us part of the one world order, where they can then blame some foreign body that's in control of the United States for all of our ills as they continue to pull their little games and frauds. Today, this video is literally about voter suppression, and they do it in 3 different ways. First of all, you've got the mainstream media that's constantly attacking anything that has to do with nationalism. You're not allowed to love your flag, you're supposed to burn it. You're not allowed to love President Trump and everything he's trying to do to make America great again. You have to hate him. They also try to sow the seeds of racism, pitting white against black. The white male now, according to Don Lemon, is a disease that laws need to be created to control them. It's just unbelievable when you go through the mainstream media today and you listen to the message that they have for us. Another thing the media does when it comes to voter suppression is they're constantly trying to convince conservatives that they are the minority, that they are wasting their time going to the polls. Well, the reality of the situation is conservatives, people who love America, are the majority. The problem is, in a lot of areas, that majority has gone silent. Let me give you a perfect example in the state of California. Voter fraud there, when you look at LA County, they have dead people totaling 144% of eligible voters in LA County. You look at their turnout rates and you see 40 to 70%, which doesn't sound all that bad. But if you remove the dead people, you start noticing that you're looking at 60 to 100% voter turnout in LA County. The reason they do that is because it pretty much ensures that statewide elections will always go the way the Democrats want. Conservatives in that state now vote at about 20%, and we're hoping to see that change in this election. We're also hoping to see Democrats in that state vote Republican. But what you have to remember is the reason they turned that state solid blue is to depress you, to stop you from going to the polls. There are other states that are solid blue in this country that could easily turn red if the Republicans weren't depressed and saying, well, why should I vote? I'm going to lose. Well, you should take the exact opposite approach. That's why I should vote, because Donald Trump proved with all the voter fraud that took place in 2016 that when Republicans come out in mass, we can win. Look at the number of blue states that turned red. The Democrat firewall caved thanks to Donald Trump. And the margins were not that big. If you take those states that flipped from blue to red, add them all up, the difference in votes was less than 50,000 votes to turn all those states. So we overcame the voter fraud, and we did it because we went to the polls. And that's what conservatives need to remember. It's our depression, it's our thinking our vote doesn't matter, that turns the tail and gives the Democrats the control they think they deserve. They don't deserve it. They aren't for America. They're for a globalist ideal of one world order, and that is not what we want. Ladies and gentlemen, at this point, I'm going to show you 3 videos. One of the media, one of Donald Trump, and one of a walk away. I think it pretty much spells out one of the 3 areas that I just discussed. I hope you enjoy it.
Than ISIS ever did.
As the biggest terror threat in this country is white men, most of them radicalized to the right, and we have to start doing something about them.
Trump has delivered on the things that they care about most. He has delivered racism for these people. He has delivered misogyny for these people.
The same type of rhetoric, the same type of propaganda that you would have seen in Germany in 1938, the dehumanization, turning people into infested vermin.
Look, the young people in this country are not with this sort of evil, nasty authoritarianism you see.
Republicans have to call this out because their souls are on the line.
So he heads a giant cult. He also heads a party that knows very well that he's a giant cult.
His erratic behavior, his ignorance could pose a profound danger to every single person in this country and literally every inhabitant of the planet Earth.
The president's obviously a racist. He's obviously a demagogue. He obviously condones anti-Semitism, stokes up nationalist hatred, all the stuff we've said.
That's propaganda. That's what happened in Nazi Germany.
This radical group of right-wingers who've perverted our democracy and really are doing what they can to ruin our country.
This whole caravan in the last week of the election is a giant lie. This is Trump's Reichstag fire.
Yeah. Look, evil lurks in the hearts of men, and it does, and what Trump has tapped into is evil.
We're going to see if this reign lasts for 30 days or 2 years or 1,000-year Reich.
What Trump does with the power that people give him is turns it to evil.
Here we are after the carnage, and this man, this moral monster, is playing to those base instincts.
It's not even a question of whether it's presidential behavior or not. It's not minimally human behavior.
There's no way that he's going to prevail because he's evil. He's dark. It's the opposite of what America stands for.
This has now become a struggle about good versus evil, and the President of the United States is evil.
And that's why 33% of the people in this country believe the fake news is, in fact, and I hate to say this, in fact, the enemy of the people. The left-wing media doesn't want to solve problems. They want to stoke resentment. It has to stop. They believe that progress isn't good for profit or for whatever reason it is they're playing their game. Our movement is about safe homes, great jobs for every citizen. Our movement is about love for our fellow Americans. Our movement is for everyone and belongs to anyone who wants to build a better future. You can do it right here in the USA, right here. Just look at the amazing things that we have all done working together. The unemployment rate just fell to the lowest level in over 50 years. More Americans are working today than at any point in the history of our country. Think of that. How do you lose that debate when I'm up against one of these people that we're seeing and watching? Oh, I hope one of them gets that nomination. When you say more people are working today than at any point in the history of our country, I think the debate is over.
Hispanic American and African American poverty have reached all-time lows, right? African American, Hispanic American, and Asian American unemployment have all achieved their lowest levels in recorded history. We've eliminated a record number of job-killing regulations, more than any other administration, no matter how long it went. We did that quickly. We passed a massive tax cut, biggest tax cut for working families, and we will soon follow it up with another 10% tax cut for the middle class. And the Democrats want to raise your taxes substantially. Remember that. Remember what Nancy Pelosi said. We will raise your taxes. And I'm trying to say, is that good politics? I don't think so, but she really believes it. They want to raise your taxes. And all that we built, it's very fragile. Somebody can destroy it pretty quickly if they don't know what they're doing. We are taking care of our veterans. We are taking care of our military, and we will soon be more powerful than we have ever been before, our military. Our military is being rebuilt at a level that nobody can even believe. New planes, new rockets, new missiles, new ships, new satellites. Under Republican leadership, America is booming, America is thriving, and America is winning because we are finally putting America first.
Everything that they were saying about Donald Trump, I would hear it in the news, and it was just reckless. And I just didn't want him to become president, and I just didn't understand how America was allowing someone like him to become president. I'm like, if he's so bad, then why is they allowing this? And then Hillary Clinton, even though her stuff was a secret, I just did not trust that bitch. I just did not trust her. But when I would watch the news, the lunacy of the people on the news, I mean, they were going so crazy over Donald Trump. And they were talking about him so much that I was like, you know what, let me tune in. Let me tune into what he's talking about. So I ended up watching the first debate. And when I watched the first debate, they asked him a question about black people. And he answered this question like I've never seen anyone answer it. And it's not about anyone running for president. It's about Bill Clinton. Like, even the way Bill Clinton talked about black people, I never heard nobody talk about black people the way he talked about black people. And it showed me that he understood our struggle. But I think Donald Trump is a man that wants America to be rich. And the only way America can be rich is if he make everybody rich. It's not just a select few. He wants to build the whole body up and make it strong. And that's what he's about. And that's what he showed me in that last election. In the first debate. And when I watched that first debate, I'm like, oh, wait, this is not the man that they've been showing me. This is not the man that they were talking about. So I ended up going back to his old speeches and watching them all the way through and investigating for myself. And what I saw was a totally different man. Yeah, I seen the crazy stuff that he was saying. Excuse me, I don't agree with everything that he says, but there is some stuff that I do. But amongst all that, he was speaking about saving us. He was speaking about bettering us and trying to show us this corrupt system. And it blew my mind to know that I was so blind. And to know that sometimes when you hear these people yelling, they're just misinformed. And the thing is, it's going to be hard to wake people up to what's going on. Because before I woke up to who Donald Trump was, there were people on my Facebook, and they was like, if you don't agree with Donald Trump, then erase me. I was like, bloop, delete. Because at the time, I didn't know no better. And now I ended up saying the same spiel on my Facebook, and people deleted me. And that's just what it had to be. Until they wake up and understand the true nature of what's going on in America, then they'll never understand. And we can't shake them awake. We can't be like, wake the fuck up. We can't do that. We have to wake them up with knowledge. We have to baby feed. We have to spoon feed these people. And we have to say, prove us wrong. Prove us wrong. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong.